Hi everyone! Welcome to video number 12 for the Ichinensei, and welcome back to Some Eigo, where you can learn some Eigo while at home. Today's video lesson will be lesson 3, part 3 of your Crown English Communication textbook. It's on pages 34 and 35 if you want to open. It looks like this, okay? You can see a man on the canoe. You can see the back or part of the canoe here and a map. We learned that they were slowly and steadily headed to Okinawa in Japan. So today we will see them arrive in Okinawa. They're going to make it to Okinawa. So we will learn about that and how they did that. Today you will need 2 handouts as usual. Number 5. Handout number 5, this one. Another picture of that man sailing. And then we're going to continue on with 13. 13, and then on the back, 14. All right. So if you will have a pencil or a pen ready, please, along with a dictionary. Printed, online, or electronic is okay. But we will check the pronunciation of the new words, and we will have you please write the meaning, the Japanese meaning, and, as always, the parts of speech. Okay? Noun, verb, adjective, adverb, like always. I will give you some hints this time, okay? I will give you some hints. So please have number 5 handout ready. Okay? Please repeat after me. Steer. Steer. This is a verb. Okay, this is a verb. Next, take turns. Take turns. Alert. Alert. You might see this as a verb, but this is going to be an adjective this time. Adjective. Today it will be an adjective. Next, all the time. All the time. Exceptionally. Exceptionally. Calm. Calm feels similar to like relaxed. Calm, relaxed. Reflection. Reflection. Deck. Deck. Peaceful. Peaceful. Connected. Connected. Universe. Universe. Tiny. Tiny. So this means very, very small. Very, very small. After V-ing. After V-ing. The V means verb. Okay, like from verb on this board. Verb. Okay. 4 more. Distance. Distance. Guide. Guide. Moment. Moment. You might hear someone say like 1 moment for like to ask you to wait for something. And then last, miracle. Miracle. Okay, thank you so much. So we want you to write the Japanese meaning and the parts of speech. The word that I want to talk to you about today is miracle. When you hear the word miracle, what do you usually think of? I know I can't get your response, but when you hear the word miracle, it's sometimes in katakana. This sometimes shows up as mirakuru, mirakuru. Of course, there's a different Japanese word for it, and I'm going to tell you very soon. I was looking at miracle worker today. I researched miracle worker online. I didn't realize that a Japanese girls group, Perfume, actually has a song called Miracle Worker. I was very surprised. I listened to it. I watched their dancing video. It was a good song. I don't know who the miracle worker is. But I wanted to talk to you about this one, and then this one came to mind. But the one I was looking for at first was The Miracle Worker is a play. It's a book and it's a drama. Like, it's usually performed on stage. When I was a high school student, my school performed. We had a performance of The Miracle Worker. It's a play by William Gibson. This is called Kiseki no Hito in Japanese. You can find it, the book, the play in Japanese, Kiseki no Hito. So that's miracle, right? Kiseki or miracle. But the miracle worker in this story is Annie Sullivan. Have you heard of her? Do you know her? She is the person who taught Helen Keller. Helen Keller. Do you remember her? She's quite famous. Helen Keller is very famous. It was blind and deaf and couldn't speak. Because she was blind and deaf, she wasn't able to speak. She didn't know how. So this lady, Annie Sullivan, came as a teacher for Helen and taught her. And everyone said that it was a miracle because she can't see or hear. How did she learn sign language? And how did she learn how to speak? Eventually, Helen Keller could speak. So it's quite powerful. There's a lot of videos on YouTube if you're interested. I recommend searching The Miracle Worker or maybe Kiseki no Hito. But this is a play that I love and am very fond of. I'm a fan. One other would be Miracle Worker from a song that I know called Waymaker. I really like music. This is a Christian song. So Miracle Worker here is talking about Jesus Christ, Jesu Cristo. And I don't know how much you learn about Jesus in your history classes at school, but I thought I'd share just a little bit, if you don't mind. Okay. So Jesus was able to do many miracles. And I have a few examples written down on this whiteboard. So these are just a short list. There's more. Okay, there's more. But Jesus was able to turn water into wine at a wedding. He went to a wedding and he turned water into wine. All of these are written in the Bible. You can read about them if you like. There were 5,000 people that were listening to him one day, and he wanted to feed them. He wanted to give them dinner, but he only had 5 breads, like 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, but he was able to make enough food for 5,000 people from this. And then he was able to walk on water. He walked on water. He healed. This is like iyasu, to heal. He healed a blind man. So a man was blind, but he made him able to see. He also healed a lame man. Lame means that you can't walk. You're unable to walk. But Jesus healed, made him better. This man, he made the lame man walk. He was able to walk. And then brought a dead man back to life. So one of Jesus's friends died, but Jesus brought him back to life. Then Jesus himself, after he died on the cross, he died on a cross, but he came back to life. That's what Easter is. So every year there's Easter. Sometimes it's at Tokyo Disneyland or something. You can see Easter, or like Fukatsusai is another name for it. But it's relating to the Fukatsu of Jesus, the resurrection of Jesus Christ after he died. So these are just some of the miracles that Jesus performed. So when I saw the word miracle today, I just wanted to quickly mention these few ideas that I was looking at today. Okay, hopefully you had enough time to write the Japanese meaning and the parts of speech. We will move on to the reading today. So we will be in part 3. So on handout number 13, you should still have a fold from last week. And I'm going to fold this side too. All right. As usual, let's do an English shower first. Okay, so I will read. Please listen to today's text. The crew members who were on the Hokulea were busy. The most important job was steering the canoe. 3 teams took turns. My team worked from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. The team steering the canoe had to stay alert all the time. One night, the ocean was exceptionally calm. The sea was so quiet that you could even see the reflection of the stars. I was the only one on deck, and I felt very peaceful. I also felt very much connected to the great universe. I was one tiny person on a tiny canoe. But the fact is that I was part of a whole. After leaving Micronesia, we traveled a distance of almost 2,000 kilometers. The stars and the sun and the waves guided us. As we got near Okinawa, I felt that we were one big family. It was morning. "Look, I can see something," cried one of the crew members. It was an island, Okinawa. But to me, at that moment, it was much more than an island. Land, water, people, and other life in the middle of this vast ocean. It was truly a miracle. Okay, that was today's text. If you noticed a word that's a little difficult, please feel free to put it in your paper here. Okay. I just will quickly show you a few pictures, especially steering. Steering on the Hokulea, I notice in this picture that there's two important steering objects. One is here. This part is part of the I think they call it like a rudder or something. This helps steer the boat, to guide the boat, to turn the boat, the canoe. And then there's one here. So there's 2. And you can see these long, it's like a long stick. It comes to here. And then this one comes to about here. And I have a picture of, it's quite big actually. Can you see that? So that's the stick that was on this paper here. This one. This is the one he's holding right there. That person's holding. This person is holding that one. Okay? And they have to guide or turn or steer is the word. They have to steer the canoe this way using this large stick. That's not the proper name. But they said that this job was the most important job. Uchino Kanako is still talking with us. She said that this was the most important job. And there were 3 teams that rotated. They rotated this job. And then her team steered the boat, the canoe, twice. 10 to 2, and then 10 to 2. Okay? Twice a day. Twice a day they steered. This is what the steer looks like in the back before it's in the water. This is the back steer. Okay. And then in today's lesson, we see that they finally are able to see Okinawa. They're coming on the boat and someone says, "Look, I can see something." And she said it was an island, Okinawa. So today we learned about steering and that they finally reached Okinawa. And she felt it was truly a miracle. And we're going to look at that a little more today. So let's try reading the text together. Okay? So let's do chunk reading. All right? Please take your papers and please repeat after me. No Japanese, just the English for now. The crew members who were on the Hokulea were busy. The most important job was steering the canoe. 3 teams took turns. My team worked from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Please turn and fold again. The team steering the canoe had to stay alert all the time. One night, the ocean was exceptionally calm. The sea was so quiet that you could even see the reflection of the stars. I was the only one on deck, and I felt very peaceful. I also felt very much connected to the great universe. I was one tiny person on a tiny canoe. But the fact is that I was part of the whole. After leaving Micronesia, we traveled a distance of almost 2,000 kilometers. The stars and the sun and the waves guided us. As we got near Okinawa, I felt that we were one big family. It was morning. Look, I can see something, cried one of the crew members. It was an island, Okinawa. But to me, at that moment, it was much more than an island. Land, water, people, and other life in the middle of this vast ocean. It was truly a miracle. Okay, great job, everyone. So the one scene that I want you to understand. So Uchino Kaneko is telling us that one night she was on the deck. The deck is this part. She was on the deck alone, by herself. And she said the ocean was quiet. So very, very still, very calm. The water wasn't moving. So she saw the reflection of the stars. She could see the stars in the water, she's saying. And she said she felt very peaceful. like her heart was very like quiet, at peace, and she felt connected. She felt a connection with the universe. In the middle, a tiny person in a tiny canoe. It looks big, but it's still small, right? Tiny person, tiny canoe, huge earth, huge universe. She felt very connected, she said. So I think that that's really interesting. And then they finally reached Okinawa. Okay. All right, we have no special information today, so we're going to do chunk reading. We finished. Let's do chorus reading. We're going to do chorus reading, so please read with me. Are you ready? You can have the English and the Japanese. 3, 2, 1. Start. The crew members who were on the Hokulea were busy. The most important job was steering the canoe. 3 teams took turns. My team worked from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. The team steering the canoe had to stay alert all the time. One night, the ocean was exceptionally calm. The sea was so quiet that you could even see the reflection of the stars. I was the only one on deck, and I felt very peaceful. I also felt very much connected to the great universe. I was one tiny person on a tiny canoe. But the fact is that I was part of the whole. After leaving Micronesia, we traveled a distance of almost 2,000 kilometers. The stars and the sun and the waves guided us. As we got near Okinawa, I felt that we were one big family. It was morning. "Look, I can see something," cried one of the crew members. It was an island, Okinawa. But to me, at that moment, it was much more than an island. Land, water, people, and other life in the middle of this vast ocean. It was truly a miracle. Okay, excellent. We're going to move on to question and answer. So you will need your number 5 handout. Handout number 5, please turn it over to the question and answers. Okay, we're going to move on to this print. I will read the questions to you. Please have a pencil and please try to write your answer as I read it to you. Then we will check together. Same pattern as always. Number 1, what was the most important job on the Hokulea? What was the most important job on the Hokulea? We talked about it in this picture. We talked about it here. Number 2, who steered the Hokulea? Who steered the Hokulea? Number 3, what times did Uchino's team steer? They had 2 times. What times did Uchino's team steer? Number 4, how did Uchino feel when she was alone on deck at night? How did Uchino feel when she was alone on deck at night? Number 5, how many kilometers did they travel after leaving Micronesia? How many kilometers did they travel after leaving Micronesia? Number 6, how did Uchino feel about the crew on the Hokulea? How did Uchino feel about the crew on the Hokulea? Number 7, a crew member said, "Look, I can see something." What was it? A crew member said, "Look, I can see something." What was it? Uchino thought it was more than an island. What did she think it was? Uchino thought it was more than an island. What did she think it was? And then you have one challenge question. We will not check the answer of this challenge today, but I encourage you to answer it. It's a challenge question. Why did she think it was a miracle? Why did she think it was a miracle? You could write the answer in the text, but please try to think about it and please try to put it in your own English. So you have about a minute. I'm going to give you 1 minute and then we will check your answers. 1 minute. About 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, if you need more time, please stop the video and then finish writing. Then when you're ready, please press play, okay, or press start. But we're going to check your answers. So, number 1 says, what was the most important job on the Hokulea? We talked about it with this picture, and we learned that steering the canoe. It was steering the canoe. Oh, that was number 2. That shows number 2. It was steering the canoe. Or steering the canoe was. What was the most important job on the Hokulea? Steering the canoe is also okay. And then number 2, who steered the canoe? Who steered the Hokulea? 3 teams did. 3 teams did a rotation. Okay, they rotated times. All right, and then what times did Uchino's team steer? So they went from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's why she said that one evening she was out and by herself, probably, was this time frame, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. All right, that's numbers 1 through 3. Let's check number 4. How did Uchino feel when she was alone on deck at night? She had two feelings. There were 2 things she felt. So one was she felt very peaceful. She felt very peaceful and very much connected to the great universe. So she felt peaceful and very connected. Okay? The number 5, how many kilometers did they travel after leaving Micronesia? 2,000. 2,000 kilometers. About, it said. About 2,000 kilometers is okay. Okay? Then, how did Uchino feel about the crew on the Hokulea? She felt they were one big family. They felt like family to her. They felt like her family because they worked together. They lived together. I'm sure they ate together and they had to sleep in the same area, so it feels like family, right? They felt like a very big family. All right. And then number 7, a crew member said, "Look, I can see something." What was it? They saw an island. And it was finally Okinawa. It was an island. Okinawa. It was Okinawa is also okay. It was Okinawa. And then number 8, Uchino thought it was more than an island. What did she think it was? She thought it was truly a miracle. She thought it was a miracle that they made it. 2,000 kilometers. 2,000 kilometers in a canoe. I'm sure there was bad weather, maybe storms on the ocean sometimes, but they worked together and they arrived. I'm sure it felt like a miracle. Okay, that was a slight hint for your challenge question. Okay, so number 9, your challenge is why. Why does she think it's a miracle? All right, that is the end of lesson 3, part 3. We will have one more video about part 4. You will have a part 4 of this section. If you have time, please feel free to look at the next page in your textbook. The next page shows some great pictures of the Hokulea and where they traveled and the deck. This says it's on deck. People steering or working. Sunset. Okay, you can see some famous people. Ooh, an old compass. Okay, there's some great pictures in your textbook. So please feel free, and we will talk about part 4 next time. Okay? Have a great day. Have a good week. You don't have to come to school yet. You will be coming to school next week, okay? But your senpai, your seniors will start coming to school from tomorrow. So do your best with all your work. Stay home. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching Some Ego. Bye.